It is January 1st, 2026, the start of a new year. You know, it's funny that this one day encapsulates just so much for so many people. Looking ahead, you can be filled with so much angst and anxiety for the year ahead. But if you look back, that year that just happened, it seemed to go by so quick, which would seem to suggest in your mind, in our minds, that the next year will do just the same. In fact, most of us will readily admit the older we get, the faster it goes by. And so the fact that we spend so much time worrying about what the new year will hold, if we just look back and see all the years that went past and all the things that we've been through, I think we'd be a lot less anxious. Anyway, that's just one of the things I want to talk about as we talk about the new year. Happy New Year.
Adam in real life. Every day's an adventure, something new.
First day of a brand new year. And you know, it's funny because this day can encapsulate so many different emotions for so many people. Now, New Year's Eve, we're out celebrating with friends, having a good time, hopefully not overdoing it, although that does happen. But the next day, this day can fill us with just a myriad of emotions, like just anxiety for the year ahead. So many things that we haven't gotten done yet that we want to try to do in the next year. And all of these things going on in our head and worry about what's ahead. But if we would stop and look back at last year and how fast it went, all the things that we went through and that we made it on the other side of, I think we'd be filled with less anxiety, less tension about it, because bad times come, bad times go. Good times come, good times go. I mean, that's the cycle of life. But we have the year, for some reason, we have made January 1st sort of the linchpin for starting new things and the determination of what got done. When time doesn't work like that, which brings me to my next point. And with the new year comes along, for so many of us, this thing, I'm sure many of you have at least one of them. You know what I'm talking about? New Year resolutions, right? We have these things that the new year, it seems to foist upon us this necessity to make a list of things that we want to accomplish this year that we didn't get to last year. How many years have gone by where we have the same thing, right? The number one New Year resolution. We know what it is, right? Lose weight, exercise more. Those go hand in hand. Number one. But there's other things that we have on and on. And here's the thing. We know that we fail at them. We know that we even anticipate that it's not going to work out. In fact, statistics bear out that most New Year resolutions fall apart by February. So why do we keep doing them? And why, this is my point, why do we keep only sticking to January 1st? Meaning, this is what happens. I mean, we have this resolution that we've made, this plan. We may even have like an elaborate plan that it's fail-safe, right? This is going to work. Last year it didn't work, and here's why. And we have all these things. But now we bought this new book. We're listening to this new series, whatever, and we're really motivated. And I'm not saying those are bad things. All of those things have their place. But what happens is when the failure comes, and it will come, not because we are failures in and of ourselves. It's not that we can't do it. It's that we're feeble, we're fickle. we resist change. In fact, one person said it this way, that change only comes, for most of us, change only comes when it becomes too uncomfortable to remain where we are right now. And so for most of us, when we are making a change, the opposite is true. That change is harder than the situation we are in at the moment. And so we resist that change. It's only when the change comes because the situation that we're in is unbearable. We can no longer do anything about it, and change is the only way out. And so then we change. And that's the truth for most of us. But this is what I want to encourage. I'm not trying to be down on change, and definitely not down on New Year resolutions in the sense that change needs to happen. It's a part of life. But this is what I want to encourage. Stop making it around January 1st. Stop calling it New Year resolutions. Why can't we have new month resolutions, right? Why can't we have, at the beginning of the month or at the beginning of the week? Or how about this? The beginning of the next day. It says in Scripture that the Lord's mercies are new every morning. That means that the things that He has for our life, and I'm not turning this into a sermon or anything, I'm just using this as an example from God's grace to us. Every day is new. Every day. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's not here. Today. And so why don't we approach things like that with our resolutions? It's good to plan it out. It's good to plan it out, but don't make it about January 1st. Don't make it about the year, because the days are arbitrary. There are 365 days in a year, and it's divided into 12 months. None of us were around when that calendar was put together. Who decided what days go in what month? Who decided how many months there should be? Who decided when the year stops and starts? Now, yes, the seasons change and the seasons determine that. But what I'm saying is, why is January 1st the beginning of the year? Why isn't June 1st the beginning of a new year? And would that change anything if we decided, that's the New Year resolution? My point is this. All of the dates, all of the times, we set ourselves up for failure because we use the new year as an excuse. As an excuse to fail. We really, and it's subconscious, I think. We think, well, I'm going to try this year. And then if it doesn't work out, we already have it in our head. Well, there's always next year. But there's plenty of this year left for us to do it again, to try again. There's nothing holding us back. There's nothing to stop us from continuing to try. Thomas Edison said, when asked about all of the different ways he failed, or all the times he failed, what kept him going? And he said that his motivation wasn't that he was trying to perfect the light bulb. His motivation came from the fact that he found all those ways of how not to do it. And now, to the outsider, that might sound like, well, that's the same thing. That sounds like failure. But the way he was saying it is he didn't view it as failure. He viewed it as a way to learn, to say, well, that's not the way that works. So scratch that off the list. Let's try again. Because there's multiple things in our lives that it's not going to work for us the way it works for other people. And that's not to say that books, self-help, and all of that it's not a good resource. But it's not necessarily something that is going to fit our lives perfectly. In fact, most of the time it won't. We're going to have to make adjustments. And that's where another part of the frustration comes in for us, is we keep trying to use other people's methods. We keep trying either the same method or we try all these other new ones, and not realizing that our failure is not necessarily failure. It's learning of what doesn't work for us. And so this is what I would propose in the coming year. But again, it doesn't even matter what date this. You could be listening to this January the 3rd or September the 13th. It doesn't matter. Tomorrow, start again. Whatever it is that you've placed as something that you want to accomplish. Start again tomorrow or continue tomorrow. See, that's the thing. If we keep going year to year, that's another problem that happens, is we keep starting over. We keep starting from the beginning because we've waited so long, we've lost any progress we made. But here's the thing. When we stumble, when problems occur, it's a setback, but it's not a failure. It doesn't mean we don't have to start over from the beginning. We've made some progress. So we can build on that progress, even if we decide to take somewhat of a break, right? 1 or 2 days. Even if we've made a little negative progress, maybe if we've deteriorated, whatever, we've gone backwards in whatever we're trying to go forwards at, but we're not back at the beginning unless we totally quit. So I guess, and all of what I'm saying is, and what I hope people take away from this is that I want to abolish the whole idea in our minds of the New Year's resolution, because I think it's counterintuitive. I think it started off, I think at its heart, the intention sounds good. But as that saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Good intentions are not enough, because what happens with this good intention thing of the New Year's resolution, it discourages more people than it encourages. Not just yourself. Don't think of other people you know who have had New Year's resolutions that they haven't kept. In fact, how many people say as a joke, I have these New Year's resolutions, and I also have the date that I know it's gonna last till. Or sometimes we might even make a little contest of it to see, can we go a little further than we did last year? And we might even call that progress, but we know that we still haven't accomplished what it is that we wanted with whatever that resolution was. So I want, again, to encourage you, stop thinking in terms of a calendar year. Stop being limited of January 1st as that is the do or die date to start something. That if you fail in February, it's over. Tomorrow's a new day. The calendar doesn't matter. Time does not, time is not, it's not respective to that date on the calendar. It is not, the day itself, let's just put it this way, the day itself is not aware of what day it is. Only we are. It doesn't matter. Every day is its own day, is what I'm saying. So the resolution that you want to do, the thing that you're hoping to accomplish in your life, whatever it is, it's not limited to a certain time. You don't have to wait to start. You can start tomorrow. Now, yes, it is the new year. And yes, now, some of you who've watched a previous video know that I have started walking, kind of trying to do more of a purposeful walking program. And you say, well, isn't that your New Year's resolution? Yes, it does coincide with the new year. But I'm not going to call it a New Year resolution. It's not something that I did purposefully at this time. It's just something that happened as just something that I came across, something that I was looking at, and I decided for my health, I need to be more purposeful in my walking, yes, but it's not something that I'm saying, this is my New Year's resolution, and if I don't, if it doesn't happen, if I don't accomplish anything, then I'll, it didn't work. I'm going to readjust, whatever works. Like, for instance, I'll just give an example. I've noticed today that my shins are starting to hurt. And I could say, well, it didn't work, never mind. But I just need to readjust. I need to slow down my pace, ease into it more. And so I'll try again tomorrow. And at least that's my mindset. That's what I want to do. So with all that, I just want to encourage everyone out there that a New Year's resolution, while it's a good sounding thing, I just want you to move away from the idea of starting it at the new year. It could be a new month's resolution, a new week's resolution, or a new day's resolution. Best yet, better, easy for me to say, best of all, or probably even better than saying a new day's resolution or making it a resolution at all, just determine when you get up, what do I want to do today? What could I do today to get me closer to whatever that goal is? What little bit can I do today? Don't worry about what didn't happen yesterday, because that doesn't matter. You can't go back and change it. And quitting doesn't negate that. But making a little bit of progress will get you a little further, even if you declined yesterday. So anyway, I went a long time with that, but it's just something that every year when the new year comes along, it bothers me, it irritates me to hear people talk about New Year resolutions. Not because I don't want people to succeed, quite the opposite. I want them to, and I hope they do. But I also know that most people are deluding themselves in thinking that this year is going to be any different than last year, because their mindset about what they want to do hasn't changed. They're just thinking the new year is going to be magic. But the year doesn't even matter. The year itself doesn't care. It's our mindset of each day. So anyway, take that as you will. And that's all I'm going to say about that for now.